I would appeal to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica that life is more important than party. And Jamaica is more important than party politics. In America, partisan politics is literally destroying the country. So even though we disagree, that disagreement should never allow us to take the life of another human being simply because they are a member of a different party. Bitter pill that Jamaica has to swallow because of the debt of $216 billion and the slowdown in the economy. So let us hope and let us pray that we will be able to ease the pain through good politics, but at the same time, if we don't move quickly, the masses will rise in Jamaica, just like they're doing all over the world. And what I would hate to see is that a well-armed army and police force will shoot down those in the street who want to see genuine change.
Greetings everyone and welcome back. I hope you are having an amazing day wherever you are watching from. Today we are talking about a message that has people across Jamaica and Caribbean and beyond asking some very important questions. It's a message from Farrakhan calling on Jamaica to reflect on unity, politics, and the future of the nation. So, stay with me until the end because this conversation is bigger than politics. It's about people. So, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and also comment. Let's watch the video until the end, then I'll come back with more comments.
Skipping, they tried in 1976 to organize a military coup to overthrow Michael Manley. In 1976, they supported attempts to assassinate Michael Manley on 3 different occasions. The little man who led Jamaica, who spoke at Savior's Day, was such a threat to our government that they attempted 3 times to assassinate the man in 1976. So later, they found a way to get rid of him through riots in the street over food when they cut off assistance to Jamaica. It's beautiful. You've got one of the most beautiful anthems in the world. And you got a seat in the United Nations. Big up for you. But independence, you don't have that yet. Independence, you don't have that yet.
He was a handsome Jamaican. And he had light skin and what they call good hair. Lord help us. Hair has now a moral quality attached to it. But she told me that my grandfather, his father, was Portuguese. So I said, Portuguese? Then as I matured, I saw that in the Inquisitions, in Spain and Portugal, many members of the Jewish people who had mastered in Europe the sugarcane industry in Spain, they had become great, we call it entrepreneurs, financiers. But in order for them to continue to live, they either had to say, I'm a Christian to survive, or flee. And many fled Spain and Portugal and came to what is called the West Indies and South America, namely Brazil. Now, if you study the slave trade, I don't want to labor on that so much, but in the Babylonian Talmud, did you know it was a rabbi that said that black people are cursed, black, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water, because we are the children of Ham, that son of Noah that disrespected him? When you look at how black people are treated, no matter where we go in the world, that poison that we are somehow an inferior people, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water of Caucasian people. And they teach this to their children. So when you meet them, you meet somebody who approaches you with a superior attitude. And unfortunately, we have responded by bowing and acting in a servitude-like manner. But you know, as I studied the migration of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, the French to the Caribbean, it was slavery that enriched Europe. And no matter what branch of Europe colonized or enslaved us, the British took away our African names and gave us English names, right? And most of us carry those names today. True? None of us spoke or speak today the language of our country and culture. We speak English because the English captured us and gave us not only their language, but their religion.
Yes, sir.
And they bred into us the hatred that they have for other members of the family of Europe that they were always fighting against. So the British and the French never got along too well. The British and the Spaniards never got along too well. And so here we are, we the British representatives. Is a Christian because the French made him that. You see?
Yes, sir.
So now the Spanish, oh, let's go to Puerto Rico or to Cuba.
Yes, yes.
When Spain conquered, they did the same thing to the African. Take away your name, take away your language, take away your culture, give you their language, give you their religion, and impose upon you their mind.
Yes, sir.
So here we are in the Caribbean. We are so divided, not just between British, English-speaking West Indians, French-speaking, Dutch-speaking, Spanish-speaking, French-speaking. No, no, no. We are worse than that. When I was a little boy, I heard a calypso song that was written by a Trinidadian, a calypsonian, long time ago. Small island, go back where you come from. Small island, go back where you come from. You come by the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now I find you up inside me breadfruit tree. Small island, go back where you come from. Now look, He was talking about the Bajans. What am I saying, my dear family? We were not only divided by the languages and cultures of Europe, we began to be divided even by our islands. So Jamaica and Barbados and Trinidad and St. Lucia and Anguilla, all of the islands, they had some beef against somebody from another island. And in America, when West Indian people started coming, they couldn't hang out with their own islanders. They had to go to a church, and for the first time, people from all the islands learned each other, learned to live together, learned to work together, learned to plan together for the advancement of those from the West Indies. And it was in that environment that the languages of the Caribbean, the dialects of the Caribbean nurtured my life. So now when you look at the introduction of slavery in the West Indies, you find that the Europeans and also members of the Jewish people bought up all the land. So the land where we worked in the cane fields was owned by somebody else. So we were always the plantation workers, but rich white people were the plantation owners. And so they made the wealth from us, but we just barely survived. So now, the Caribbean gave to the world sugar, bananas, pineapple, rice, and coffee. And in Brazil, there was sugar, tobacco, cocoa, and cotton. And the whites were the masters of the production and marketing of all those things. And of course, the British, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Spanish, all controlled these territories at various times. But no matter which European nation controlled the land and the sea, it mainly was the Jewish merchants who controlled the profitable trade in the produce of the Caribbean and America. And so here we are today. This is 2000.
Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you have just watched that full video. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen two brothers argue over something so small that in the end they both lose? Or maybe you have watched neighbors fighting for years over a tiny piece of land, only to realize that nobody really won. Does not that make you wonder if some battles are simply not worth fighting? That is exactly where his message begins. One of the strongest points made is that life is more important than political parties. Think about that for a moment. Is a political party more valuable than your family? Is an election worth destroying lifelong friendship? Is it worth turning communities against each other? Here is a fun quote that made me smile. Politics should be like seasoning in food, not so much that you can taste the meal. It sounds funny, but it's not. There's some truth in it. The conversation then shifts to Jamaica's economy. It talks about the country debts, its long economic journey, and the political tension surrounding former Prime Minister Michael Manley during the 1970s. But here is a question. Can we really understand where we are going if we refuse to understand where we have been? History is like the reviewing mirror in a car. You don't spend your whole journey staring at it, but if you ignore it completely, you might miss something important. Sometimes the past doesn't tell us where to go, but it certainly warns us where not to go. The discussion then turns to colonialism. It argues that European colonial power shaped much of the Caribbean political system, economies, languages, and institutions, leaving long-lasting effect that many people believe are still felt today. Now, let me ask you this. If someone built a business using your hard work but kept all the profit, would you call that success or exploitation? That question may not have an easy answer, but it's one worth thinking about. Here is a serious quote. A nation that remembers its history has a better chance of shaping its future. Whether you agree with every point or not, understanding history helps us better understanding the present. Another major point is unity. Think about Jamaica's sprint relays team. One athlete cannot win a relay race alone. Every runner has to trust the next person with the baton. If one runner refuses to work with the others, then the entire team loses. It's not that a lesson that goes beyond sports. Could a country also move faster when its people move together instead of pulling in different directions? It reminds me of a family building a house. If one person lays bricks, another removes them, and someone else refuses to help, the house may never be finished. But when everyone works together, progress becomes possible. Teamwork is not just for sports, it's for nation too. The message also raises questions about foreign investment. Foreign investment can bring jobs, businesses, and development, but here is another question. How can a country welcome investment while making sure local communities also benefit? How do you grow the economy without leaving your own people behind? These aren't just Jamaican questions. Countries all over the world continue debating the same issue. Here is another fun quote. If everyone eats from the same table, nobody spends the whole meal watching someone else eat. It's a simple way of reminding us that growth should create opportunities for everyone, not just a few. As the discussion continues, one message keeps coming back: unity. Not everyone agreeing on every issue, not everyone belonging to the same political party, but people respecting one another enough to work together for the country's future. Now imagine this: Jamaica is already known around the world for its incredible athletes, unforgettable music, rich culture, and resilient people. So here is the big question: what could Jamaica achieve if that same energy, determination, and pride were matched with even greater national unity? Would businesses grow? Would more young people find opportunities at home? Would communities become stronger? Would the next generation inherit an even better Jamaica? Those are questions that deserve serious thought. I will leave you with this final thought. Strong nations are not built by people who agree on everything. They are built by people who refuse to give up on each other. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe unity is the key to Jamaica's future? Can people disagree politically and still work together for the good of the country? Or do you see things differently? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's keep the conversation respectfully. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification for more thoughts-provoking conversations. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.